Hey, buddy.
Hey, bud. How we doing?
Not bad, you?
Good. Just hanging out, looking at the campaign. We're almost there.
Yeah, well, we're at 64,000. So I mean, we're funded because we only needed to get to 55,000. But
yeah. So here in the States, we're looking at 88,843. So it's looking good, man. I mean, you're well over 10,000 over. So
yeah, I think the numbers seem to be going up. I was very nervous that in this last hour I'd just be I'd be costing us backers and not adding to backers. But I was literally just saying to people as you called that I agreed to have a chat with you before I really fully understood sort of your background and your marketing business and stuff. So I know you're into watches and stuff. No, it was really good fun. I'll tell you what's happened. I was interviewed by Miguel and P. Ross on SoCal Watch Reviews, and now I've realised that talking to people is fun. And so now whenever I get asked to do anything like this, I'm like, yeah, no worries. I don't care who you are. I'm in. So, but yeah, it was still a lot of fun. But explain to me, because I know you're into watches, and that was one of the reasons you were interested in having a chat with myself. But just give us a bit of a background into the after hours and your fluid marketing. What's that all about?
Yeah. So I guess we'll go a little bit back. So it all started with Fluid Marketing. So Fluid Marketing Agency is an agency I started 3 years ago. And I've worked in digital marketing for about 8 years now. And I wanted to just start my own thing. I was doing a lot of consulting. I was doing a lot of side projects when I was working my 9 to 5. And I figured I could make more money by just bringing it in-house. And so I started taking on projects, and then it started getting better and better. I live here in Orange County, California, U.S. and the States.
Nice.
And so there's a lot of demand out here, especially in the LA area. So a lot of companies started reaching out, and I said, you know what, I can actually just make an LLC out of this and start taking on projects. And I did that exactly, and it started going really well. And so I started noticing, okay, now I need to kind of dial it back and start really creating a plan out of this, because I can't just take on all these projects by myself. So I started bringing in a team, and then realistically, I just had more time on my hands. And I said, what can I do now? Always trying to find the next best thing. And I wanted to start a podcast. And, kind of how we talked about in the podcast is just a guilty pleasure for me to just talk to really cool people, like honestly. And, I just recently finished doing a podcast right now with this professional basketball coach. Who's actually trained. Yeah, he's actually trained NBA players and stuff like that. So we just been shooting it. But yeah, man, it's just a way for me to just have fun with it. I don't like to just shove a bunch of like fluid marketing stuff into those podcasts. I want to just make it, not too adsy. I just want to make it natural.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel adsy or anything like that at all. It just felt like chatting to a guy about watches for 2.5 hours. The invite said 30 minutes, and 30 minutes. I know. Oh, and I looked at the clock and I was like, it's been 2.5 hours. Yeah.
I noticed right after I said that invite, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Good luck uploading that onto YouTube. You'll be there for 3 weeks, especially if it's in high definition. That thing was massive. Yeah, but
I was trying to render it on my phone, and I was like, this isn't happening. I have to chop it up.
Yeah. No, what you did. So you've got. So what's your podcast?
So the podcast is called Fluid After Hours.
Yeah.
We have it on everywhere you can listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And we also have, as of recently, a YouTube channel called Fluid After Hours, and then we also have it hosted through Fluid Marketing. And so that's where I go in and I put little teasers as well in there, and kind of just anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes, and then kind of gear you back to the pod.
Yeah. I mean, that what you did on the because I think I was the first video, wasn't I? The sort of teaser, the teaser. Yeah, I watched it the other day, and I listened to the podcast. It was I'm getting used to listening to myself, to be honest. You must be used to it as well, obviously having a podcast.
I hate listening to myself. I hate it.
Yeah.
Every time I'm doing these edits, I start listening. I'm like, God, I sound annoying.
Yeah, no, I don't like the sound. No one likes the sound of their own voice. But weirdly, I don't find watching myself awkward. What I find awkward, and I was saying it earlier, is just is like I struggle to do recordings in front of people. So if I'm up here doing my audio or whatever, like my wife wanted to sit up here and watch this sort of live, and I just had to say no. I it's weird. Like I just feel the recording side of things feels so unnatural still that I feel so awkward doing it in front of people. I have to lock myself up in here on my own. So I don't mind listening to myself back, but yeah.
And I think the beauty of when you start doing those like reruns and those edits is that's when you start catching little things. So like I'll listen to it and I'll be like, oh man, I should have let this person talk a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I should have kind of dialed it back in.
Yeah.
So it does help out.
Yeah. So let's a quick wrist check then. I know you weren't one of the original backers of the first Exciton, so I can't give you a hard time about not wearing yours today because you don't have one. So what are you wearing?
I was watching the
Simon.
Yeah, I was one of them when you were destroying them.
I wasn't destroying them. That was me being nice.
Yeah, I was like, okay, please. I couldn't get it. Please get it. I wasn't even wearing a watch and I had to go run.
Oh, no, you can't come on here and not wear a watch. What did you put on anyway?
So I actually sent you a video of this one. So
oh yes, the watch for the blind. Yes.
Yeah, so this was we talked about it in the podcast, but I was trying to get into vintage watches, and this is my first Raquetta. This is my first vintage watch actually, aside from the Gucci one. And this is a really cool watch. They were using it in the USSR time back in the 40s. And it was just one of those watches that kind of had that little magic trick. Click it here, and then the lid comes up, and then it allows, of course, people who are blind to actually go through the braille and feel out the hour hands, the minute hands, and really cool. Just really cool timepiece. It's a 33 millimeter, so it fits perfectly on the hand. But yeah. Really
Nice.
cool.
Well, how'd you get into watches then? What happened?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Your videos like yours.
Oh no! Come on, really?
I mean. So in theory, I was, wearing my, we talked about it, but I was wearing my my Timex Weekender when I was, 13, 14, and then I gradually started getting into different watches. But only as of the last few years ago, I started watching different YouTube videos. And really seeing what I could get for $200, $300, or even $100. And there was Casios and different Timexes, but there were so many other micro brands and stuff out there that I had never heard about back in when I started watching. There was Baltics and Sins that were a little bit more expensive, but really gave you that value proposition. And so, like I was saying, throughout COVID, man, I was watching all of you guys' videos, and I mean, I was watching watch review after watch review after watch review while I was working on my computer. Yeah. And then I got obsessed and I caught the bug.
It is totally addictive, isn't it? Absolutely addictive. I remember when I first got back into watches, my phone was just full of screenshots of all the watches. It was just crazy. It's so addictive, and you watch video after video, and of course YouTube's very good at keeping people's attention. As soon as you finish watching a video, it feeds you another one. And we spoke about it in the podcast. You just go down all these little rabbit holes, and before you know it, you're into vintage watches. You're into your G-Shocks. You're pushing the sort of mid-tier Seikos and Citizens, and it's unbelievable. Should we see how well we're doing? I can see the numbers on the right hand side. They're scrolling, and it looks like we're getting more backers, which is incredible.
You just went up to 89. You're 89,000 here in the States.
89.
You're about to hit that 90,000 mark.
Oh man, that is. Oh, I'm not so sure about that. We might have a problem. We might not have enough watches. I'm sure.
Go about that if you're tight on if you guys hit the 150. I don't know how Kickstarter works.
Well, we've set a limit on watches because we don't want to breach a VAT limit. So basically, we're not charging the 20% VAT because we're not a VAT registered company yet, because our income is quite low. If we were to go over, I think it's £85,000, we then have to become VAT registered and basically charge VAT on stuff. So we've just made sure we've kept it well below that, so that we don't have to start scrambling around to find money to pay the VAT man, because that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to start sending these guys Seikos.
Yeah. Yeah. It's your San Martin. It's not an Exciton, but it's a San Martin. Oh man, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me, Chris. It was really good to chat to you the other day. Honestly, at the moment, with all the lockdowns and all the isolation that's going on, I can't encourage people to do this enough, especially if they are working from home. It's so good to sort of sit and chat face to face. It was really good, and I strongly encourage people to listen to your podcast, because you're a natural. Actually, you were excellent. You were really good. I've been interviewed, if you like, by probably two of the best in terms of the sort of watch community on YouTube, yourself and Miguel. So now you make it look so easy. It's not that easy, trust me.
I'm trembling inside, making sure I don't say something stupid. Every second, just don't fuck up.
Yeah, well, you haven't said anything stupid today, so you got away with it. Don't worry, I won't edit you out. I won't edit you out. Don't worry.
Don't
yeah.
edit me out.
All right, mate. Well, I'm going to get on and talk some specifications. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Check out Chris's podcast.
Thanks, guys. Take
Right.
care. Good luck.
Cheers, Chris.